I began writing on LinkedIn and Medium 3 years ago, but nobody read my content. I would spend hours writing what I think should be the next viral article on Medium, on LinkedIn, but in the end, it was crickets. And I was doing everything the experts were saying. Oh, write consistently, find your voice, stay authentic. I was doing all of this, nothing was working. I didn't know that I was missing one very critical element when it comes to writing on the internet. And this is the element that separates the writers that are struggling from the writers that are crushing the numbers in terms of impression and of course in terms of monetary returns. And in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 things that is going to change how you write on the internet. 3 things that will make sure that you are no longer that writer that your audience ignores. And these are not going to be very common tips like, oh, find your voice and all of that. These are tactical changes that if you implement them today, they will change how you show up on the internet and your content can begin to take off. But before I go into these 3 things, let me also say, if you're just starting your career as a writer, or if you're just starting out showing up on the internet, do not also expect quick results, all right? I'll give an example of an airplane. Before the airplane takes off and begins to fly, it starts and begins to move slowly. What it's doing is that it is taxiing and it's trying to generate enough momentum for what we call the escape velocity. When it's finally gotten to that point, when it has generated enough momentum, enough energy, then it goes at a speed, lifts up from the ground and then goes into the air. At that point, it is able to then fly steadily. Your writing online is going to likely be like that. The early days, weeks and months of showing up on the internet will likely be slow, all right? And what you're doing at that point is you are learning, you're trying things that may not work or may work, all right? And you're building strength, you're building character, which will help you to then take off and begin to fly. But in this video, I want to shorten the learning curve for you so that instead of you spending months and years trying to learn how to really change the game, this video is going to show you how to do that in a couple of days or weeks. Let's get into it. So what I see 90% of writers do almost all the time is that they show up on the internet and they are writing about what interests them, what they love, what they are passionate about, instead of writing about what the readers are interested in. The first thing I need you to do from now is to start writing for someone instead of writing about something. As simple as it sounds, this is a game changer. So many people show up on the internet and then they're asking themselves, what should I write about today? The right question should be, who am I writing for today and what are they going through? What is happening in their world that I can speak to today that will resonate with them? Before you write your next content, complete this sentence. This is for the person who is struggling with XYZ or trying to do ABC. For example, if this video was created with one person in mind, that person who is creating content on platforms like LinkedIn or Medium and their content is not taking off. So everything I will be saying in this video is going to be about you, not about something, all right? So this content I'm posting today is about ABC person who is struggling with XYZ or who is trying to do XYZ. If you can't finish that sentence, do not write at all. But once you can finish that sentence, then you are about to write a piece that will connect with a human outside there. That's number 1. Number 2, lead with transformation, not with information. There are thousands of content already on the internet. So what your audience are going through today is what we call information overload. People have enough information already, but what they are seeking is transformation, is change, is results. So when you're creating content, ensure that at the back of your mind is that you're putting out content that will help whoever is reading your content go from point A to point B. So instead of writing the complete guide to email marketing, you can say how to write subject lines that gets opened, or how to write subject lines that increases your email open rate. One promises everything, the other one promises a specific result. That if I read your content, I am going to begin to write emails that people are going to be opening. That is leading with transformation and not just with information. The simple rule is one content, one transformation. Your audience should read your content and feel like you have given them enough information to go and act on what you have written, which is exactly what I'm trying to do for you in this video, so that as soon as you're done watching this video, you can go and put that to use in your content. That is leading with transformation and not just information. The third thing to do is strategy. Create a content ecosystem, not just random posts. So Monday you wake up, you just post this, and Tuesday you post another type of content. There is something we call the buyer's journey, all right? It starts with awareness, then goes to consideration, and then goes to decision. Other people call it the tofu, the mofu, and the bofu. Top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel. And these contents are supposed to take your audience on a journey from awareness to consideration and then a decision to work with you. So when you show up creating content, ensure that your content is synced in a way. Create a content, for example, that is an awareness content, and when you're creating the next content, ensure that it takes the audience from the stage of awareness to consideration. Then the next content should take them from consideration to decision making. That is the customer journey within your content framework. For example, this video is an awareness content where I'm showing you what is making your content not to work. The next thing I should be doing is to point you to another content that then takes you further into the subject matter, and this can be a free guide. And speaking of free guide, check the description section of this video. I have a framework that walks you through how exactly you can begin to write on the internet and become impactful, influential, and also profitable. That guide contains a framework that I use with my students. It's called the MAP framework. It will help you discover what is your message, the value that you're bringing to the internet, and who are the ideal audience that needs that message, and what platform is suitable for you to share your message and connect with your ideal audience. This guide will walk you through how to discover all of this in less than 10 to 15 minutes. So most writers just show up and they just write content out of the blue. So your audience reads the content and then you leave them hanging. They are not sure what next to do or what else to do with the information that you have given to them. That is writing without a strategy. And if you write that way, there's almost no chance that your content is going to take off and begin to deliver the kind of results that you're seeking. So implement these 3 changes in your content framework, and I guarantee you your content will begin to take off gradually, just like the example of the airplane that I used earlier in this video. Again, if you want to dive deeper into how to write on the internet and build impact, influence, and income, and if this video has been valuable for you, I want you to like this video, share with somebody you know who writes on the internet and is currently stuck, so that they can also get the value that you must have gotten from this video. And if you want to see more content like this one, ensure you hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. I release at least one video in a week that shows you how to write on the internet and then build influence, build impact, and make money from your writing. So if you turn on the notification bell, that ensures that every time I drop such video, you will be notified. Let me know in the comment section, what is the biggest challenge that you're facing now when it comes to content creation, building a writing career, or building your personal brand on the internet. I will respond to all of your comments, and if there are comments that I can create videos on, I will also create my future videos around them. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video.